Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We have a 2012 Audi Q7 again that we've been working on prior, but on this occasion it's back for steering rack bushings. I don't know, do you want the part number? You get enough information from that, right? Where these things are, I don't see much play in them, but I'm requested that they want them replaced. They're sitting through the steering rack here, one bolt going up and the same over here. Now I have pulled out the bolt prior, 2 bolts, and the reason I pulled it out is just to see what could I do. How was I going to get this out? Do I need to drop the steering rack off it or what? It doesn't look quite as easy as what I'm thinking. It's not going to be as straightforward as what I think. So my problem point is here. Whoop, where are we going? Here. What I'm saying the problem is that I either have to drop the steering rack out of it, press these things out, or, and I don't want to do that because it's going to be long-winded, or I have to get more room between the diff or the front axle and the subframe. So what am I thinking? What I'm thinking right now, I have tried checking out to see can I get much room here to press this thing out. I can't slide the steering rack over that way to press the bushing out. I can't go back that way to press the bushing out because it's on top of the subframe. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to pull out that bolt there that's on my diff, that bolt there that's on my diff, and another bolt there that's on my diff. I don't think I'm going to be able to bring the diff up, but I think I'll hold it here, and then I'm going to pull out, there's 4 bolts holding up the actual subframe. I'm going to try dropping the subframe down and holding the diff up to get a bit more room to move my rack to press in this bushing. I'm going to pull this thing, a couple of bolts out of it, drop it down, see where we go. Someone has replaced a couple of arms that I haven't replaced, but that's what we're going to do on this occasion. Okay, talk to you in a second. Okay, bolt out. Where am I going? Bolt out. Bolt out. Bolt out. Same over here. Okay, subframe got looser and dropped a bit. You can see it in there. I should have dropped it. And right now, I'm going to start sending up. I'm just using the extendable kind of a bar. I'm going to send up my diff a bit, just to try and get a bit more room when I'm gaining a bit here. I probably would like if that, I was going to say trans axle went up a bit higher, but yeah, it should have gone up. At this point in time, it all seems nice and cool and clear. And yeah, right now I'd say we're actually being held on the rack. That's that. I'm going to push this out with a pry bar now. After doing that, just a little bit of a pry bar, I'll put a pry bar in there, and then I give a little bit of a tug back here. I'm after getting enough room that I would say I'll have clearance to press a bushing up or down. We can see some kind of wear marks here on the edge, and I'm hoping that I just get a bolt up through it, some kind of a spacer that'll hold onto the side of the rack, and just the nut will pull through the hole and pull my bushing with me. And I'm hoping that I can do the same vice versa on the way back in or back down again, or whatever way the hell. I'll get something set up and try and get out this thing. That was the hard one. This one is awkward now, but that was the hard one, and that's okay now. Slight little bit ambitious, guys, but I'm hoping that I can get this little bar, which is not too fancy. I'm hoping that I can put it up there. I'm then hoping that I can put the bushing on top of it, i.e. the new bushing up here. And I'm hoping that I can press the old bushing out with the new bushing coming in. It's this cup then I'm putting on the bottom side here to allow that bushing to slide into it. The only thing I can show is that it's not the full depth of it, so I might have to do a swapperoo or a switcheroo in a while. Oh. But for now, that's what I'm going to tackle. I'll set myself up and show you. Bar, 2 spacers, bushing on top, and then we bolt on top of that, and hopefully this is going to somewhat work. Let's keep on going. So seems to be heading in there kind of okay. Again, I'm only spinning by hand, so it's happening slow. And it will, as we said there, stop before it hits the end. But again, probably should have done a slow-mo, or whatever the heck they call it, speed up time lapse on this thing. We stop there now in a second. The part, doesn't it? I have sprayed a little bit of silicone spray on this thing as well, so okay, that's where we're getting stuck now, between here and the base of this. Probably going to take it out and try and get a few washers or something in there to give us a little bit more room, or maybe we even might leave her out, I don't know. Okay, we have pulled him out. Time for him to go back up. Bushing is 90% of the way in case to send it in again. Now that bushing can roll into this. We'll stick our nut back on the top again and carry on. Hey guys, I have it set back up again and we're pulling straight through again. It's probably twisting a bit on me. There's no pressure on this now, so I could do it nearly a second hand to stop. The bar itself is turning on me, which is potentially a bad job, but that is where we are working. I don't think... Ah no, she stopped there now. I'm going to go on a little bit further and maybe just to make sure the rubber pops out fully in here, and then we'll take it apart and have a look again and just see. I'd say she is nearly all the way through, but there's a lot of twisting on these bars that I nearly can't do. As you see, look, actually I'm not out fully yet. Okay, I'm going to go again and pull it through a little bit further. I actually used my Nipex pliers and just pushed it back up. With that, one thing I want to show is on the actual bushing, it's kind of wider and flatter, okay? There's mark there, little mark there, okay? But these high points, they go on each side, okay? Here and here. There's no pressure on the rack pushing that way or that way. The pressure is going to be pushing that way or that way, okay? So don't put those in that way, put them in that way. Now you can see, if you can see it, the little legs, what do we call it? Transverse. So that little marking that's there is actually showing you the middle of this. So this another one on the opposite side is going to be put in the same way around. Time to now get in at this. I'm going to try and push my rack over that way now to get me a bit of clearance on this one, and do the same thing on that side. Just before I go on and press out this, I have pushed my rack over. This is the old bushing, and there is the length of the rack. Okay, see, can I see this? I can. Right there and right there is the markings. We'll do it the same as what we have up here. 2HO, 2HO. So the bushing has been fitted that way, which in theory is wrong. I'm going to give them movement side to side. Should be that way. As we pointed out, that little marking should be down here. Okay? So that's where we're going to go for, just to show that this thing is in wrong. And get this one in and see where we go. Same process, just to show the bush. Oh, she's just popping out. The bushing before is coming out, and that's the position. It's coming out of where it should have been. Crossed that way. They actually might have been okay because they look like they were replaced relatively recently. They might have been okay if I had pressed them out and just turned it around, but for now anyway, we're going to squeeze this thing through and I wonder if I put it through with the pliers. I don't know. Okay guys, that is that. That bushing is sitting in. And then have a look at it at the top. Sitting in, happy. Markings side to side. And then a socket stuck in there just to hold it forward for me. That's it. Rack is going to be sitting back into place and start sticking in a couple of bolts. All should be very relatively easy, okay? I'll do that. Okay guys, stuck in bolt in diff. In diff. In diff. What else? Oh yeah, stuck in the 2 bolts in the steering rack. Big bolts. I just make them tight. Probably should be torqued to a certain thing, but I just make them very tight until They're going to nearly break and that's it. They're not coming out. That's on them. Same I'm probably going to do here on these ones. I have the subframe. Once I dropped this down, and once I had it dropped down and the bolts in my front diff, now I'm just bringing it back up to bring my subframe back up to where I need it to be, okay? So that is it then. I have 4 bolts here to be sat back up and in, okay? Okay guys, that's it. I'm just at there sending up my 4 bolts on my subframe. Doodle-doo. Into it, all bolted back together. And I've just been spraying a little bit of brake clean around here. For anyone that follows me and knows me and probably recognises the car, you'll see or recognise that I had lost the copper washer on the last outing on this thing, and I had to take out this seal and I slightly damaged it. So I've gotten and replaced one of them also to stop, in theory, this little bit of dampness that's happening here. And yeah, that's kind of it for today. What I'm going to say is, I don't know, I think it's a relatively handy enough job. Don't be too afraid of it. It's about the approach rather than the going mad in the execution. Handy enough little job, yeah. Don't be too panicked about it. But anyway, yeah. Look, if my hints and tips are any good to you lads, Audi Q7 steering rack bushings are any good to you, just give me a thumbs up and a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next cartoon. Peter Kennedy signing out. See you later, boys.